But I will take Lamar Jackson on my team all day, every day before I took Derek Carr. And I think you believe that you would have Lamar Jackson on your team.
I'm not a fan of that style offense. I'm just not enough.
Okay.
I don't think that wins championships.
All right. Today we're talking all things Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, the Buccaneers season this year, I would say they underperformed. They finished 8-9, whether it was players being injured, players just underperforming. The season as a whole, to me, was a bust. We're going to take a deep dive into that. Today, we got dionparrish, a lifelong Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan and season ticket holder, to break down exactly what happened to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers season. All right. And thank you again for joining in on 1v1, man. I appreciate it. Talking all things Tampa Bay Buccaneers today.
Let's go Bucs.
Tell me a little bit, as far as the season is concerned, you know, the way that I see it, I see the Bucs underachieved. I mean, they should have been better. Now, there's some reasons for it. The offensive line was hurt. I don't know what happened to the defense. I literally don't know. It just seemed like a lot of underachieving. A lot of that can be contributed, I'm guessing, maybe to coaching, guys just not playing. I don't know. You tell me, what is your assessment of the Bucs season this year?
It was as I expected.
Okay.
We got a 46-year-old quarterback. GOAT, greatest of all time.
Right.
But he's still 46 years old.
Right.
They, offensive side, we ran Bruce Arians out.
Right.
To run a more simpler, non-throwing the ball downfield offense.
I got you.
In my opinion, Tom Brady did not want to throw the ball downfield as many times as Bruce Arians did.
Yeah, no. He didn't want to stand in the pocket and get hit because it requires that. It
does. That was before the offensive line issues.
Exactly.
So even before the offensive line got hurt, that was a part of the plan, to not throw the ball down the field with offensive players designed to get downfield.
Correct.
Defensive side couldn't get any pressure.
No.
They're playing a lot of heavy blitzing. That's the style of play that Todd Bowles likes. It just wasn't generating enough pressure.
And also, when you play that style, it leaves you vulnerable on the back end.
It does.
They didn't have the secondary for that.
They don't have
the secondary for that.
We played Antoine Winfield, a safety, at slot cornerback all year.
Yeah, that's a problem, man. That's a problem.
And they never changed it. They thought that was it's perfect for run defense because he's a great tackler.
Right.
But when people passed against us, he was the target.
Right. Yeah, that was a lot of it for what I saw. It was just both sides of the ball. It was a lot of, I shouldn't say, well, I will say, it just didn't seem like it was cohesive. It didn't seem like it was together. It's like one side didn't complement the other, you know, and it's just what you said. Tampa Bay's roster on offense, they're built to get the ball down the field. I mean, Mike Evans isn't built to catch 3-yard routes, you know, or slants and stuff like that. That's not what he does. He's never done that.
He's a big guy. He's got deceptive speed and he's strong. Yeah. You've got to throw him 50-50 balls. You have to throw those. You have to give him a chance to make plays on the ball, and they weren't doing that. Yeah. And they tried to turn Chris Godwin into Wes Welker.
Yeah, that's a mistake. That's
12 catches, 60 yards a game. Yeah. 12. That's what I saw.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It didn't work out. And then comes the big problem, which any football team's going to have. They couldn't run it, not an inch. Now, granted, a lot of the offensive linemen were hurt. And all of them were hurt. They lost some linemen, some to free agency, injuries. Guys were hurt all year.
Yep.
Needless to say, I saw a Cincinnati Bengals offensive line just yesterday with backups that were horrible and could run the football in the playoffs.
You know
Tampa
what that
Bay
tells
should have been
me?
able to run the football, man.
It's your scheme. It's the running.
Yes.
It's the running scheme.
Yes.
That makes a difference. People are blaming. You try to blame it on backups and offline, the offensive line, but every team has injuries.
Correct.
Every team deals with injuries all through the year. Some people are able to run it better than others, no matter what. It's your scheme.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the part of it for me, as far as Tampa and on especially on the offense and defensive side, like we talked about, it just didn't seem that they complemented each other, man. It's a problem. And so I guess my next question comes, Todd Bowles, what do you do? I mean, we've seen this league, a lot of people in this league get fired after 1 year. I'm not saying Todd Bowles should be fired. I'm not saying that by any means. And also, I'm not trying to go the whole race route and that sort of thing. I don't think that's justified in this conversation. Now, it is another conversation because we can talk about Houston, Texas. My God. But that's a different conversation for a different day.
Right.
But is Todd Bowles doing a good job? I mean, seriously, is he doing a good job, and is he being allowed to do a good job?
I can't say he did a good job. I want to defend him, but you can't say he did a good job with the team that he had. I can say that I don't believe he had any input on that offense. Yeah, even as the head coach.
Absolutely, that's fair.
I believe that was Leftwich and Brady.
Yeah,
that was the offense. But Todd Bowles, he's a head coach. He's an NFL head coach. He's stubborn. They have egos.
They have egos.
They want to win with their system
and do it their way.
Then do it their way, and that's pretty much what got him in trouble.
Yeah.
But he's not going to get fired. We got rid of who we were going to get rid of. We put the blame on Leftwich, half the staff and Leftwich. Yep, those guys are gone. And I think it's an attempt to bring Brady back.
and we'll get into that here in a second. I want to stick on this Leftwich thing.
Right.
I think it's garbage. I think
terrible.
It's absolute garbage that they fired him and to put the blame on him because last year the offense was just fine. The year before that,
4 years,
the offense was just fine. I go, but all of a sudden, the offense doesn't do as well this year. And look, where can we start blaming Tom Brady for some of this? He didn't play well this year.
He didn't play well at all.
So since he doesn't play well, that's the offensive coordinator's fault?
You got that man fired.
It just, to me, it's just absolute nonsense. Now, some of this, you can blame Byron Leftwich for even being there because you had the Jacksonville job and you turned it down. You don't turn down. I get what you're saying, but we're not in the position to just be turning down head coaching jobs because everything isn't perfect the way that we like it. Unless he just doesn't want to do that. If you want to be a head coach, you get an opportunity. You got to take it.
You got to take it
and make the best of it. And if you don't want to be there, then you can move on or do something different. That's something different. But getting back to Brady. He was just he wasn't good, and I get what they were trying to do, but when you can't run the football at all, and then just with what they were trying to do, the offense just wasn't going to work. It leaked over into the defense. My opinion, and you can tell me, I think the Bucs got to blow the whole thing up. I think they got to start completely over if they are trying to fix this thing because. From the top, now, again, you could say, well, if they get their offensive line healthy, and they get some more pieces on defense. But to me, I think if you're firing your offensive staff, you're starting over. I think they just got to start over, man.
The salary cap may force us to do that anyway.
Okay.
So I think we're, according to a report I read earlier, $55 million over the cap.
Ooh.
And we've got a lot of free agents: Levante David, Jamal Dean, Murphy Button, obviously Brady. So I think unless they know some magic that they can do on this salary cap, that's going to force us to start over.
Right.
But we still have good core pieces around them. I've heard rumors of Carr. I've heard rumors of Jimmy G. I've heard rumors of a couple of different quarterbacks that they're going to want to bring in because they don't trust Trask.
Right.
And obviously not Gabbert.
Right.
So I don't think blowing it up completely, but you're definitely going to have to take a step back.
Right. For me, I don't think that they can bring Brady back under these circumstances and what you got going on. I don't think you can bring him back personally.
What's his options? What's his options? I think his options are play for us or retire. What's his market?
He could go to Vegas.
Does Vegas have a chance at winning just by adding Brady?
I don't know that. I mean, they got other pieces that they got to add too.
Right. So they would have to do exactly what we did when we brought him in. We didn't just bring him in. We brought in Gronk. We brought in Fournette. We drafted Tristan Wirfs.
Well, but Vegas has those pieces in place now.
Do they?
I mean, they got Devontae Adams. They got a Waller. They got a Hunter Renfro. They got if they bring back Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
I mean, Waller was just hurt this year. Waller can play.
He was hurt last year.
But he can play. I'm just saying.
He's a weapon.
They got things in place in Vegas. Now, their offensive line is terrible, so they're going to have to fix that. So that that's a problem with Brady.
They didn't re-sign Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, they didn't sign him. They're going to have to do something that to me, that was a mistake. But I don't know. I think there's a market for Brady somewhere. I don't think that he's, what he was.
It's not where he wanted to go. It's not where he wanted to go. San Francisco. There's no market there. That's dead.
No.
That is complete. That's dead. He can't go to Miami. I don't think he can go to Miami.
You wouldn't rather have him than Tua?
At this point, no.
Yeah.
I just watched him play an entire season. No, I think I want Tua.
Well, you watched Tua play an entire season, or what he had of a season.
What he had of a season.
Concussions. That's my only thing.
It's the concussions, yeah.
Yeah, and my thing, I think Tua, God bless him, but Jesus, at some point, 3 concussions in a season, and one of them was super bad.
One of them was really bad.
Man, somebody got to get in his face and say, man, enough's enough. Okay, just enough. But I get it. Guys want to play. I get it. I 100% understand. But, that again, that's a conversation for another day. I don't want to get, sidetracked. But bottom line is, I don't know. I don't think he can come back to Tampa. There is somebody else out there. And me and you go back and forth on it all the time. And we're going to go back and forth on it right now. Is your boy 30 for 30? He's hanging out there. He will be available.
Listen, if you're asking me, would it be a good idea to bring Jameis back?
Yeah.
Team-wise, yes. What the Bucs organization is trying to do as far as make money, this entire season was a cash grab. If they bring Jameis back, they'll lose a significant amount of the fans that we already don't fucking have in the first place.
So do they not like Jameis there? Because I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
No.
Okay, so they're out on Jameis altogether.
The fans, absolutely. Yeah. For at least, I'd say 75, 80%, absolutely never. It's Jameis, no. They're not Jameis fans here at all.
Okay.
At all.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought people, I knew there was a lot of people that didn't like him just because, of the play and the turnovers, but I didn't think it was that bad.
It's bad.
Okay.
Jameis hasn't played in Tampa in 3 years. Right. And to this day, we've won a Super Bowl. And Jameis Winston lives in their heads rent-free still to this today. At nothing but negative comments wherever you go.
So they can't bring him back just because of the fan base.
They can't. The fan base will lose their mind. I
got you. Well, here's another name to throw out there at you, Lamar Jackson. Because I don't see Lamar Jackson playing with the Ravens. So I just, with everything that's going on, I don't see that. You want him in Tampa?
I don't think we can afford him in Tampa. Do I want him in Tampa? It'd be a good money grab. I am not a big Lamar Jackson. I think he's a gimmick quarterback. I'm not a huge fan of him. I like him. I think he's a great weapon. But if you bring in Lamar Jackson, you need to bring in the guy that designed Baltimore's offense with him.
Okay, that's fair.
That's what I think. I don't think he's a great quarterback. I think he's a great football player. I think he's a great weapon.
Okay, and all that's fair. I get it. Let me ask you this though: Put Lamar Jackson, or better yet, just keep Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, but put Godwin and Mike Evans with him in Baltimore.
That doesn't make him accurate. Doesn't make him an accurate quarterback.
But it doesn't make him better? You don't think that makes him better?
I think it makes the offense more of a threat because you have to respect those. You do have to respect those other players.
Exactly.
But you still got to get him the ball.
You don't think he can get him the ball?
I mean, the same way Brady was getting Godwin the ball this year. Yeah, a little 5-yard route.
It's not the same way, man.
Just a little 5-yard route. If you can dump it off real fast, you can get it out of there. I mean.
But it's not the same way. First of all, there is zero threat of Tom Brady running the football.
Absolutely.
Zero.
Absolutely.
There's going to be a threat of Lamar Jackson running the football. So people are going to have to respect that. And you have to respect that.
His top receiver this year, not tight end, was or previous year was it Duvernay?
Duvernay and Hollywood Brown. Come on, man.
One of them had 1,000 yards.
1,000 yards in 17 games. That's 66 yards a game. Come on. Nope. I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it. Hollywood Brown is not any good.
I didn't say he was. That's what I'm saying. So he can put up numbers with the receivers, but will it be effective numbers? Will it matter in the game?
Well,
or will it just be I'm padding stats out here? Because you can pad stats in football too.
No, you definitely can. You absolutely can. I just think if you put him in Tampa, Tampa's better. I do.
Yes.
I think they get better, man. I think I get the money part of it, but they always figure that out. Somebody will restructure, they can figure that part out. I think you put Lamar Jackson in Tampa, they're good.
I think you have to bring the right offense with him. That's what I'm saying. He has to run a certain style of offense.
No, for sure. Absolutely.
You can't
things will definitely have to change for sure. But I just think they're better. I think they would be better. You had to bring in, like I said, just like you said, a whole different offense to make it work. But, I think that would work for them.
I'd rather have Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
I was going
to say, let's go to the next guy. So Derek Carr. Why Derek Carr? Because the people in Vegas, Oakland, they can't stand Derek Carr. They can't stand him. So why Derek Carr for you, and why is he good at the Bucs?
I think with a healthy Bucs team, including offensive line, because we've got a really good offensive line when they're healthy.
Okay.
We've got receiver weapons. He had Devontae Adams, what did he have before Devontae?
He had Waller and Renfro, but he really didn't have an outside threat.
Exactly. He didn't have two elite wide receivers. We've got two.
He did not. You're right.
So, and then consistent. What is our offense going to look like would be the other key factor in that. But I think he's a solid quarterback. I don't think he's elite, but I think he's good enough. I trust him more as the quarterback position than I do Lamar Jackson.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, that's a fair statement. I don't agree. I would take Lamar Jackson on my team, but I will take Lamar Jackson on my team all day, every day before I took Derek Carr. And I think you believe that you would have Lamar Jackson on your team.
I'm not a fan of that style offense. I'm just not enough. Okay. I don't think that wins championships.
It hasn't yet. I'll grant you that. It hasn't yet. We haven't seen it happen yet. And that's, and until it does, that everybody can stand on that.
You can stand on that,
it's
right?
True, because nobody has done that yet. Honestly, has anybody really been close? I mean, have you seen
with that style
even in the Super Bowl?
We're about to get close, I guess. If the Philly makes it, it's similar.
And it's similar.
Right.
You know, but they got weapons.
They got weapons. They got both
weapons.
Sides of the ball. That team is stacked.
Philly's different. But you're right. We'll see. But they're different, and they run it, but they throw the ball a lot. And they throw it outside. They throw it deep. And that's the only knock. Look, I'm a Lamar guy, but that's the knock. I'll knock him until he stops playing football. You got to be accurate outside the numbers, man.
Yep.
You got to be accurate outside the numbers. You cannot just throw the ball to your tight ends or throw it over the middle like that and expect to be good. You got to throw it down the field outside the numbers, and it's a problem. That's a problem. That's the thing that the Bucs didn't do this year. They didn't do a lot of that this year. Again, I attribute a lot of that to the offensive line. They got to get the offensive line fixed. They got to get that fixed. So I mean, with the problems up front, and it's in the middle. I mean, the tackles are good. They got hurt, but your tackles are well. I don't know if Donovan Smith
is not good.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if he's fine. So you may need to get a new left tackle.
Donovan Smith looked good last year because we had. Kappa was there last year, and we
helping. That's right.
The other one is the one that retired on us early.
He did, didn't he? That's right. What was it? It started with an M. I can't remember, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he retired. And that hurts. People don't think about it. That hurts. That hurts
big time. We lost Kappa, and then he retired. And correct. I think if he had retired first, we would have kept Kappa. But that hurt Donovan Smith because he's just terrible. He was. He's a holding penalty waiting to happen.
Bad. So overall assessment, let's just bring it back to wrap all of this up. The Bucs season, clearly they underachieved this year. We all know that. Everybody understands that. However, moving forward, I mean, we've said all this stuff about them. They're really not that far away, though, from being a really good football team again. Do you think?
I don't think so at all. Absolutely. I think we're a solid quarterback, an offensive coordinator right now.
They got to figure that part out. They got to, if they want to bring back Brady, okay, fine. But I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't. I don't think that's going to happen. So then it's okay. You got to find the guy. And once you find the guy with the offensive coordinator, things are going to change offensively. I'll be honest with you. I think the receivers are going to love it. I think they don't like running those, quick slants. I think they like getting down the football field.
Getting down the field. So the rumor I've heard, the only rumor I've heard is Georgia's offensive coordinator, which I don't know much about. And I thought Georgia was a defensive team. Georgia, the college team. Yes.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a fit, man. I mean, they play that gimmicky quarterback. But if they play that gimmicky quarterback type of stuff, guess who runs it?
You can bring in Lamar.
There you go. So
I don't know.
Then, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know about bringing in Georgia.
College quarterback, a college offensive coordinator, period. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good look, but we'll see. But man, I appreciate you jumping on here and chopping it up with us. We'll have you back again. See what Tampa's doing. In the off season and all that good stuff. Like I said, I don't think they're that far away, man. They're not that far away.
We've got a good core. We've got a really solid core.
They do. So, I mean, every team, I shouldn't say every team, but a lot of teams have money issues. They always figure that out.
They always figure it out. Yep.
So they'll be all right, man. So I appreciate you jumping on, man. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, man. Go Bucs.